My name's Tina Kelleher. My actual title, well, I mean, as far as if you were to look me up in Outlook, it would say Marketing Communications Manager. But as far as specific, like how you'd see it in my signature, it's kind of gone through a few incarnations. Community Manager, I guess, is probably the best, but if you want to be even more specific, I'm mostly in charge of the content for the Bing Ads blog for the English version. So I would say content marketing and social media. Depends on the topic. It's at this point, I think most of the questions that we get are usually coming through our Twitter feed. Typically, when people are reading a blog, it's a couple of different reasons. One, they're interested in updates on the Bing Ads platform, just to see what's new and what new features are rolling out. Two, they're trying to learn something about search engine marketing so that they can do it themselves. Most of our audience is small to medium business owners. And three, and this is kind of a new area we're starting to move in, we're starting to add some content around social media and content marketing, which is pretty complementary to PPC. So like a question I just got recently was, a guy said, social sounds great, but, can it really work for me as a small business owner? It's like, well, yeah, but, it all depends on what your business is, who your audience is, what they find value in, how much time you're willing to dedicate to it. So the questions really vary. It really depends on who's reading it and, what question they're trying to answer by being interested in a blog post. What is now Bing Ads was once called Ad Center. And when Ad Center first started, it was very clunky. It was very not what it is today, I'll say that. And it was, that part was really challenging because you just weathered criticism on a daily basis. Basically, people wanted this platform to be Google AdWords, and it wasn't. It wasn't even close. And there was a lot of frustrations because people felt like they needed to learn two completely different platforms in order to essentially accomplish the same goal of getting their ads onto the search engine. So over time, the challenge has shifted from weathering that criticism and being able to respond to it in a way that's very diplomatic and, not taking anything personally, to now where we've, the strategy has been to basically just make it, to say, I've been beating the drum of, we are open to the feedback. Criticism is great as long as it's constructive. Don't just tell me this sucks. Say this sucks because it's doing this and this, and I want it to do this and this. The more specific your feedback, the more we can use that to improve. Writing, absolutely. And number one of that is know your audience. Diplomacy. Diplomacy is always a really good skill to develop, I think, pretty much no matter what your profession is, but absolutely when you're dealing with writing and communications, because the people who, ideally you'll be doing a lot of the writing yourself, if that's something you like to do, but in some cases you will be taking writing from other people who may not be the best writers, and you have to deliver your reviews and edits and approvals with a certain degree of tact and knowing how not to offend. Tenacity. Be aware, okay, so if you've got somebody that you need to work with, you need to know what's important to them, what motivates them, what's going to get them to do whatever it is that you're hoping the outcome of what you're approaching them with to be. Especially as far as career goes, is follow what you're passionate about, and sometimes you do have to take a detour into something that you're not all that interested in. Like I had to do pay-per-click, but it was, hey, it's a job, I'll take it. And sometimes it seems like, okay, this sucks, I don't want to do it, but it can also, if you follow that with an eye on where you want to go, you can get there. So that's the way I look at it.